This is Hall County Sports, brought to you by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. Remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair, 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood. With 3 worship services, Kids Town, and adult small groups, McKelvey Road United Methodist Church, dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. Well, we appreciate your indulgence as the snowpocalypse or snowmageddon or the whatever you want to call that thing that hit us last week hit us, and we had to do the rerun thing, and a lot of folks got into that kind of situation, and we appreciate your indulgence. But this week, we're back on schedule, and we open with college basketball. Freshman Tatiana Kudiakova out of Moscow, Russia, scored her season-high 18 points and helped the Brunel Golden Tigers pick up their opening conference win over Bruton Parker, 79-54. Sophomore Nikki Reed had her second straight double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. Sophomore Olivia Williams came off the bench for her best performance of the year with 10 points and 8 boards. Sophomore Gabby Harvey turned in another strong game with 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a game that saw all 15 Tiger players in action. And then Brunel took on a nationally ranked team. The number 17 Southern Poly Hornets came up short 60-47 in conference play. Tigers actually came out strong, built up a 21-10 lead to lead at the 10-minute mark of the first half. But then the Hornets went on a 20-0 run and seized control 30-21 at the half. Tiger foul trouble also a big factor. Harvey just missed a double-double with 9 points, 11 rebounds, but Brunel managed just one player in double figures. Kudiakova finished with 11. Tigers have games this week with Shorter and Lee University. That latter game, by the way, will be our next HCS TV game of the week. And then Brunel will travel on Saturday to play at Truett McConnell. Golden Tigers entering this week at 9-4 overall, 1-1 in league play. We bring to the show now Coach Gary Bays of the Brunel Golden Tigers. And Gary, you still are playing pretty well. I mean, you're off to a great start.
We are. We're pleased with where we're at. There were a couple of games there that I felt like we might have won. You know, the Tennessee Wesleyan game up there that we lost by 1 was one that we probably gave away. And then the Southern Poly game, even though we ended up losing by 13, I felt was a game that we could have won too. So you can't have everything you want in this game. And unfortunately, our inexperience is showing up at key times for us against good teams.
Well, it's an ebb and flow kind of thing. Like I said, I saw Georgia play Florida in this Division I, and Georgia was down by 16, but they were at home and they came back and won that game. Yeah. So it is that type of thing, and you have to expect that during a basketball game, those spurts and runs and all that kind of stuff. And as you say, experienced teams seem to be able to weather that perhaps a little better.
Yeah, and we're still really learning how to play with each other. The 2 Russian girls are still figuring out the rest of us, and the rest of us are still figuring them out. So I think a couple of weeks from now, we should have it all figured out, and then I'm anxious to see how we can do against the quality teams at that point.
All right, you've got some talent. Now, I saw you play in the game against Bruton Park because I served as your stadium announcer for that particular game, and I was impressed. I thought that this is, I think, your most talented team that you've had since you've been at Brunel.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about that. But our top 8 players are all freshmen and sophomores, so it just takes time to put all that into a package to where it really functions the way you want it to in critical times of the games. So we're just continuing to work real hard. We know that we're a work in progress, and we know that we're going to be good at some point. We just don't know when yet.
Early on here, where are you particularly strong? Is it your shooting? Is it your rebounding? Is it your team defense? What is it?
Well, that's an interesting situation. We figured out the 4 games that we've lost, we shot 30% or less. The 9 games that we've won, we've shot nearly 50%. So see, it's inconsistent with that. The thing that has been pretty consistent, we've only been out-rebounded twice all year. So we are a pretty good rebounding team consistently, and I think our defense is more consistent than our offense at this point.
Well, Al McGuire said, you know, the team needs that aircraft carrier, and I think you got you one in Kudiakova.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we just feel like all the way down through 10 players, we can put anybody out there and they can compete at this level. So that's something we haven't had before.
Who's the class of the league that you've seen so far?
It's Lee again.
Is it?
Yeah, they just continue to reload up there. Shorter and Southern Poly are both ranked also in our conference, along with Lee. So those are the three, and unfortunately we're playing them back to back to back this week. We played Southern Poly Saturday, Shorter today, and Lee Thursday.
Wow.
So that's a tough road right there.
Right, right. Well, we're going to be on hand to show people what the Southern States Athletic Conference looks like this year when we do your game with Lee.
Great, we're looking forward to it.
All right, Gary, thank you for coming in. Good luck to the Golden Tigers
My pleasure.
the rest of the way.
Thank
All right.
you.
Gary Bass, the head coach of the Bernal Golden Tigers, will take you back to the wrestling mat when we continue.
Covenant Connections Church is a 21st century church committed to inspiring a positive change in your life and in your community by promoting a desire to please God and by ministering to the entire family. Experience interactive praise and worship along with relevant, inspiring, and challenging messages from the Word of God at Covenant Connections Church. There is a place for you.
In the red corner, the little guy holding prices down for all of Hall County, Dave's Goody Barn. And in the blue corner, the heavyweight full price leader eating your lunch daily, the Big Box Store.
Well, Mike, what do we know about the Contender?
Dan, if you're tired of paying high prices, go on down and visit the good folks at Dave's Goody Barn. The buyers for the store travel the globe searching for the greatest deals so the savings can be passed along to you. They purchase from insurance companies due to fires, floods, and other natural disasters. Most of this merchandise is in near perfect condition. Now, back to the fight. Let's get ready to rumble!
Holy cow, Mike! Dave just KO'd the Big Box Store in the first round.
Well, like I said, Dan, if you're tired of paying high prices, hurry on down to Dave's Goody Barn or visit their website at davesgoodybarn.com, because what's there today may be gone tomorrow.
Hey, I'm Larry G. If you're looking for high quality furniture, come see us at G's Home Furnishings and Appliances. We have the highest quality furniture on the market because we buy directly from the factory and we cut that middleman out. And that means that I can save you a ton of money but still give you the highest quality furniture on the market. So come see us. Just remember, if you buy it anywhere else, we both lose money.
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville. You may be asking yourself, why drive to Gainesville to buy a new car? Well, the answer is obvious. First, we sell Hondas, one of the best cars in the world. Next, we're known for incredibly low prices, offering you more money for your trade-in and treating you the way you like to be treated. We're easy to get to from either Georgia 400 or I-985 on Brownsbridge Road in Gainesville. And remember folks, if you think you can get a better deal on a better car at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, you got that right.
We're back. As promised, we cover wrestling this particular segment. Now, we had a match of the week on last week on this channel, and it was a dandy. Went down to the very last match wrestle between North Hall and Chester T. War Eagles went into this one with a different lineup due to some disciplinary action, but they battled the home team Trojans tough. Cam Howell of North Hall lost to Aaron Anderson of Chester T in the last match of the night, but only by a 9-2 decision, and that preserved a 1-point victory, 37-36 by the Trojans. They got pins from Taylor Merritt, Tyler Goss, Tyler Kratzer, Cody Wilsden, and Shane Doster. They also got a narrow 10-9 decision from Eric Adams, while Clay Williamson's major decision, 16-5 at 119, proved to be big, giving the Trojans that extra team point. Chester T got pins from J.W. Gilbert as well as the Wesley brothers, Kyle and Malik, Joey Lyles, and Dylan Brock. They also picked up a 9-4 decision from Luis Ojeda at 285. And then Chester T and North Hall hooked up at the area duels at Oconee County. The result was basically the same, although this time it was Cody Wilsden with the clinching match, and the final was 36-31, still in favor of North Hall. Shane Doster, Lee Sisson, and Tyler Kratzer also came up winners for the Trojans in that particular match. Now, also at the area, West Hall beat Walnut Grove 60-16, lost to Lumpkin County 34-42, and beat Johnson 69-12, and they wound up fourth in the area, did the Spartans. They beat Franklin 39-36, North Hall 37-32, lost to White County 18-62. Those with pins for West Hall during the tournament were Omar Lopez, Dorsey Rayford, Christian Sepulveda, Logan Herford, Ricardo Mancia, Chris Price, Julio Chavez, Kyle Byrne, Jose Pacajo, Anthony Villacana, Eric Allen, Israel Guzman, Avery Spiegel, Frankie Vasquez, and Jimmy Lopez. By the way, Oconee County won the area, Lumpkin County was second, and White County third.
And we bring to the show now Coach Jay Hargis, head coach of the North Hall Trojans. And Jay, let me correct one thing. On that Chestatee match the first time around, you actually beat them by 2 because they had a team point taken away.
Yes, it's kind of a minor thing at the very end. Hardly anybody noticed it, but Chestatee gave us everything they could, and it was a knockdown, drag out to the very last match.
I think that the fans really enjoyed seeing it on TV too, because that's the kind of thing you want. It's really good, you know. You and I both can watch a match where it goes down to every match is 3-2 in the third period. But when you get some pins thrown in there, it's a pretty good thing for the fans that watch it on TV.
Well, the screaming and shouting and stuff. A lot of folks don't quite understand wrestling because they hadn't been seen it. Now they get it on TV and they say, wow, that is kind of exciting.
Yeah, and you had a good crowd there too.
Very good, very good. And then we ended up having to face Chestatee later on, and that was very tough again, but we came out on top there too.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the area duels now. All right, as you mentioned, you beat Chestatee, another narrow, very close match in the 30s once again.
Yes, I think it was 36-31, 5 points that time. Again, it's a difference of usually one match, and it was very tight. Kerry and Paul got those guys fired up, and of course we warned our guys that it's hard to beat somebody twice, and now it's going to be hard to beat them 3 times later on at the county duels. But unfortunately, West Hall come up and snuck up and got us the next match.
Yeah, that was a pretty tight one too. I'm looking here. Beat you 37-32.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about that match.
Well, yeah, I really felt good going into it. We had some of our strength coming at the end of the match, and unfortunately their guys beat us at a couple of weights, and we didn't score as many points as we thought we might. So we still have a young team. About 6 of our weight classes are freshmen, and some of them did very well, and we just at times going to have to suffer through a few duels as we're still learning.
I know that first time that you faced Chestatee, they were monkeying around with their lineup because they had some discipline things going on, but then you beat them again. So as you said, though, if it's a good team, now if it's somebody that's lousy, you can beat them every time, but if it's a good team, you kind of have to mess with that lineup a little bit.
Well, we did that too. We felt like possibly we needed to make a change in one of our weights, and sure enough, this time we ended up winning that weight, and so we made an adjustment to win a weight. They made 4 adjustments, and I can't remember how often that helped them or not, but every match is different. Those guys go out to give 100%, both teams, and you don't always can guess how the results are going to be.
Well, you've got some people that are wrestling awfully well for you right now. Tell me about some of those people.
Tyler Kratzer's doing really well as a sophomore. He's faced some tough guys and really coming through for us. We've got Shane Doster's done very, very well. Cody Wilsden gets a lot of pins for us at times. Lee Sisson's done well. We've got some other seniors, Alejandro Gonzalez and Carson Coker, that are sharing the heavyweight weight class, but we've got some freshmen. Taylor Merritt's been a champion a lot of tournaments for us. He's done well at 103. Clay Williamson at 119's done well. Tyler Goss has done well, very well. We've got some guys that make it exciting.
And the big redhead kid, Doster, he's one of your outstanding kids, huh?
He's lifted a lot of weights, has really improved himself, did great during the football season, and the two sports really go hand in hand, and as he improved in wrestling, I think it helped his football, and he's a true athlete.
Well, I know that the snow messed a lot of things up, the snow and ice, so your practices, your matches, and so forth. In fact, they even had to put the state duels off till after the traditional meet. That's going to be kind of interesting right there. So what you got ahead for you?
We were able to get a couple practices in. Sure enough, some of the guys didn't run as much, and so it's going to be a little bit tougher, but we are facing Lambert. We rescheduled. We fortunately had a spot where we could reschedule the Lambert match, and Coach Quintari is an old North Hall grad, and so we like to wrestle with him.
And of course, coming up at the end of the month, the 28th and the 29th, the county duels. Now, where's that again?
It's going to be at Gainesville this year.
At Gainesville, okay.
Rotates around.
Okay, and you're going to see some people you don't normally see because you got Flowery Branch, Riverside, East Hall, not in AAA.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting because we really hadn't been able to see them quite as often. Flowery Branch we seemed to see a lot of last year, and at 4A they had to schedule some different teams, and it's just going to be very, very tough. We knew as coaches this next year it was going to be probably tough, and I could see it being 1 match or 2 matches for each team.
All right, Jay, listen, thanks for coming by. Good luck to the Trojans the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take you back to basketball when we return.
My name is Lloyd Smith.
I'm Renee Barnett.
My name's Alan Cudd.
My name's Don Cooper.
My name is Mike Stewart, and I attend McKever Road United Methodist Church, the church on the hill here in Oakwood, Georgia. We'd love for you to come join us.
This message has been brought to you by the people of the McKever Road United Methodist Church. Gary Cole, pastor. Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round.
Mountain View Auto Repair is the place to bring your vehicle. They'll always treat you right. The service is good and the prices are very reasonable.
You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes.
If you don't need the repairs, Danny's going to tell you. He does what he says he's going to do, and he'll make it right every time.
He takes patience and explains it so that I can understand. It's very easy for me to talk to Danny about a problem I think I have with my vehicle.
Go see Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair. He will treat you right.
Imagine 3 football fields of the most unbelievable pre-loved office furniture. That's what just arrived at School Tools and Office Pros. Team Office Pros is doing the touchdown dance while saving you money on chairs for executives, managers, students, and teachers starting at $19.99. Bookcases for lawyers, accountants, classrooms, and libraries starting at $24.99. File cabinets for medical, legal, professional, and personal starting at $49.99. Desks for college students, businesses, and home office starting at $99.99.
Unbelievable! If you are looking for a quality used car, then look no further than the car store on McKever Road between Gainesville and Beaufort. You won't find clunkers or junkers at the car store, just vehicles you'll be proud to own. At the car store, they can finance you on the spot, no matter what your credit is. They have a variety of plans. You can even phone your payments in. At the car store, they've been giving outstanding service to the community for over 20 years. At the car store, everybody rides.
Come on down to the car store. We can make you happy. My name's Bob Watson, and I guarantee it.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. Hall County Sports TV is the show. We cover in this particular segment high school basketball. And our game of the week for this week saw Lakeview beat Athens Academy 50-37. The Lion boys got balanced scoring and rebounding and played some sticky defense. Plus, they benefited from a miserable night at the free throw line by the Spartans, 9 for 24. I guess I actually should say a miserable afternoon because we played it in the afternoon. Austin Pearson and Matt Askunis had 8 points each, and our player of the game, Jackson Wells, the senior, had 7 points, about 5 rebounds. Trevor Price had 8 rebounds to go with 6 points. Derek Fadul had 6 points and 5 rebounds. The Lady Lions that night fell in the closing seconds to the number 9 Lady Spartans, 35-33 on a pair of free throws. Taylor Hanty hit 4 3-pointers and had 23 of the Lady Lions' 33 points on that afternoon. The next day, the Lion boys fell to George Walton, 59-48. Fadul had 15 and Pearson 10. Hanty had 11 in a 48-26 Lady Lions loss. We bring to the show now an old buddy of mine, Seth Vining, coach of the Lakeview boys. And Seth, first of all, let's deal with our game of the week. A long layoff, the snow messed everything up. I told people that, I said, I'm probably going to say tonight 2 or 3 times during the course of this basketball game because we're used to playing basketball games at night, but I think it was pretty wise to play it in the afternoon, that afternoon, as a matter of fact.
It definitely was, and we were just trying to get the game in. I mean, all the coaches wanted to play, and neither one of our schools was in school, so we had to move the game up to make it a little easier for Athens Academy to come up and play, and I was just glad to get the game in because we really needed to play. Yeah, well, you had been off for so long. I mean, I think, what did you probably had maybe practiced a little bit the day before or something like that? We had a practice the day before, and actually on Wednesday we had an open gym where we had about 8 9 guys got in that lived close to school. So a few of them had been in 2 days, but and Athens Academy was in the same boat. I think they had 1 practice on Thursday too. So we were all in the same boat. So.
I thought this was a really good win for you. The fact that they're a quality team, they have a quality coach in James Banks, and we shared some stories before we turned the cameras on. The former Georgia basketball player was on their Final Four team that year. They went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, had a winning record. In fact, they were unbeaten in the region.
Well, actually, in their sub-region, they were unbeaten. They had lost to Commerce in I think a 2-point game earlier in the year. But that was at Commerce too, and you know, Commerce has not lost a game in that the new little practice gym they played in while the new gym was being built. So that was it just shows how strong Athens Academy can be, and we have a good rivalry with them. You know, since I've been at Lakeview, I guess of all the teams in our region, that school probably we had the biggest rivalry, and so it's good to beat Athens Academy anytime, and our team needed that win, so it was a great win for us. Well,
I'm looking over at as I said, I recounted some of the scoring, and I mean, you didn't have anybody with more than 8 points, but you had a lot of people around 8 points, and that balanced scoring means nobody can key on one player and expect that to carry the course of the game.
That's true, and our team has had that type of production pretty much all year. You know, we've been forced to have one guy in double figures some games, but some games, you know, we seem to not have that player to step up and just be that dominant scorer. But we have had different people play well throughout the year, and of course, Friday, I thought we were about as balanced as you could get.
Well, then you go out the next day, of course, and you have a loss. So that's just the way is this the way the kind of year has gone for you this year?
You know,
up and down a little bit?
We have been a little up and down. We're still looking for some guys to emerge as our key players, particularly on the offensive end. Defensively, I think we've played pretty well all year. Saturday night, Derek Verdot had a good game. I think he was like 5 for 10 from the floor and had 15 points. But it was just one of those games where we just had a poor first and third quarter. We were down 1 at halftime, and they hit 1 at the buzzer to be up by 1 at halftime. We come out in the third quarter and we scored 7 points and got behind. So and that's kind of been our season so far. You know, we've played some very good teams. We played some teams close for a good portion of the game. We just haven't had that offensive firepower to get over the hump and win some of those games against some quality teams. Of course, the Athens Academy win was probably our first really quality win against a good team. So it was good to get that. We're hoping that we can build on that in this coming week. We've got 3 region games this week, including 2 home games Tuesday and Wednesday. So we think this is a key part of our season right now.
Now, obviously, consistency down the stretch is going to be very, very key.
It really is, and our region is extremely tougher this year with the addition of George Walton and Riverside. So when it comes tournament time, we pretty much know we're going to have to play a quality team to get to the state tournament. And for us to be playing at our best is more important this year than probably any other year.
Before we leave, I want you to send a congratulations out to one of your alumni, David Pruitt. I just saw he's a sophomore at Lander, just picked up his second Peach Belt Player of the Week honors, and during those wins he had 27 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 steals a game. He had 11 of 20 3-point attempts, averaging almost 17 points a game. So when you see your kids like this go out and it's got to be a point of view. You kind of feel like they're one of yours, don't you, huh?
Well, they're always one of mine. And I was very fortunate to Kathy and I actually went to see David play in that game where he had 28 points. So we were there in person to see him play that game. And I also saw that he had 20 points against North Georgia Saturday night and Lander's win against North Georgia. So he's played really well. So we're pleased to see one of our Lakeview grads do so well.
All right. Seth, thank you for coming in and appreciate it. Thank you for all your support throughout the years, and good luck to the Lions. All right?
Thank you, Gary.
In other basketball, Chestatee swept by Stevens County, 25 points and 7 rebounds for Peyton Robertson as the Lady War Eagles won 47-23. Keelan Passmore had 24, Cole Morgan 22, and Lucas Bennett 12, and a 65-64 Chestatee boys win. East Hall swept by Banks County,
The girls won 40-23 as Jasmine Jenkins had 18, Daniel McCravey had 12, and J.C. Hampton 11 in the East Hall boys 71-37 victory. And Sterling Bailey, fresh off the football field in that All-Star game, had 10 points and 12 rebounds, a double-double for Sterling. Riverside beat Hebron Christian 47-44 as Amari Archibald had 12. The Eagles then lost to Prince Avenue 44-38. Gainesville beat Lanier 62-34 in boys action. Quan Holcomb had 22 points. North Hall swept White County. Mary Kate Rushton scored 22 and grabbed 11 rebounds, while Sis McKenna Rushton and Sarah Pascal both had 14 points and 6 rebounds, and the Lady Trojans won it 62-54. Chris Barnes had 18 points, all on threes, and the North Hall boys played some D on their way to their 56-35 victory. All right, time now to name our athletes of the week. For the male athlete of the week, we're going to go with Keelan Passmore, leading scorer for Chestatee basketball in that 1-point victory over Stevens County. Wins for the male War Eagles have been hard to come by this season. And for our female athlete of the week, Mary Kate Rushton, North Hall basketball, double-double in their win over White County. I'm back to wrap it up when Hall County Sports TV concludes.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spiritware and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Covenant Connections Church is a 21st century church committed to inspiring a positive change in your life and in your community by promoting a desire to please God and by ministering to the entire family. Experience interactive praise and worship along with relevant, inspiring, and challenging messages from the Word of God at Covenant Connections Church. There is a place for you.
Catching you up on some other happenings in local sports, a couple of East Hall alumni will be in the North Georgia College and State University's first Athletics Hall of Fame class of inductees. Brenda Hill Gilmore, who led the Lady Saints to the NAIA National Championship runner-up spot, will go in on January the 29th, along with Jim Hyder, the most decorated men's basketball player in North Georgia history. Brenda still holds a lot of school records, as does Hyder. The North Hall High softball team has a new head coach. Assistant Brooks Smith will be taking over for Bruce King, who will devote more time to his assistant coaching duties with the Trojan baseball team. Smith is a North Hall alum who attended Piedmont College on an athletic scholarship. She's currently a teacher at Myers Elementary School. Well, Gainesville's A.J. Johnson was on the white team at that Under Armour All-Star game in Orlando. That squad had a huge comeback over the red team, only to see the Reds kick the winning field goal with no time left, after the white squad had blocked the first attempt on what was then called an illegal blitz. According to the rules of the game, they got another shot. They won it on the second try. Now, East Hall's Sterling Bailey was actually on the winning side as the East came from behind to beat the West 13-10 in that U.S. Army All-American Bowl. Meanwhile, Gainesville alumnus Nick Clater is taking it to the next level. He was a junior offensive tackle at Georgia Tech this past season and now says he will give up his senior season and enter the 2011 NFL Draft. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ.